Friend of me, enemy. All these niggas just wanna be a mini me. All these niggas just wanna be a mini me. All these niggas just wanna be a mini me. Friend of me, enemy.
Well, we put her through her paces today. I don't think the conditions could be much worse. 3 nights rain, 2 days worth of rain this morning. When I took it over into the grass, it mowed pretty good. It didn't mow great. You know, I still had some stragglers, but I mean, that has a lot to do with the conditions of the grass more than it does the mower. Right there in front of the lean-to, we went through some thick stuff that I don't believe has ever been cut. It did cut through it. It took a second. Some of that I think is probably rated higher than this mower's supposed to do, but it still did it, and it did it without bogging. This thing didn't bog all frickin' day, which is amazing, especially considering how wet this grass is. Had some really good dispersion. It really spread it out, even though the grass was trying really hard to clump. The 35 horsepower Kawasaki is amazing. I mean, it's got power for days. Then we went over to my second food plot. I had sprayed it, but the stuff was so tall and so thick that only some of it died. The rest of it kind of resisted it. So I wanted to get that mowed so I could go over and just spray the living crap out of it. I wasn't sure how this was going to work back there. I can't foresee really anything ever being back there. I was afraid I was going to get it stuck, which nope, sure didn't. I wasn't 100% sure how to get back there because I've got it cut on a trail on the backside how I access the tree stand. But God, this thing just wouldn't stop. I mean, some of that stuff's taller than me. Even sitting on the mower, it was taller than me. I had cut down quite a bit of honeysuckle back there. There were honeysuckle stumps kind of sticking up. So if you watch the mower jump, that's because I was hitting those stumps. I couldn't really tell. Initially, I started really slow. I didn't want to run over a baby deer. I wanted to give any chance for wildlife that may have been hiding in that thick stuff to make its way out. And luckily, we didn't see anything. But that's going to be a pretty good sized plot, and it's going to be pretty easy to spray now. When we got done with that, I brought it back out. Still amazed it didn't get stuck. I mean, it holds water in that one spot pretty bad. It's kind of sandy soil. I brought it up here. I tried to blow it off the best I could with the leaf blower, and then we attached it to the Xterra. I knew it was going to pull the Xterra. You can tell by the power this thing's got that it's gonna do some damage. I don't know how much my Xterra weighs. I'm gonna say over 2,000 pounds. I think my trailer is about 800 pounds. I think I could have put a mower on the back of that trailer and still pulled it. I didn't have anyone in the vehicle. It was just in neutral, and I just slowly pulled it, stopped, made sure that it was actually doing the pulling and that we weren't taking advantage of any elevation shifts. Now, of course, it's on wheels, so it's going to pull a little easier, but the initial push on it, nothing. I mean, I didn't even have to kick the sticks forward. It didn't slide. It's got great weight to it. Again, and I keep preaching, the width of these back tires is what really makes the difference on this mower. It provides a balance. So I guess my final review of this mower is that it cuts very well. It's very fast. I love the controls. I really like the Turf Tiger 2 where the controls barely moved. These move quite a bit, but you don't feel like you're engaging the blades. You don't feel like you're engaging the drive belt. It's just smooth. It wants to go. There's no real effort in it. The seat is super comfortable. I love the width of the back tires. I love it on hills. I love it on flat grass. I would say that this probably mows closer to 10 and 11 miles an hour than it does 13. And then when you disengage the blades, I would be willing to say it probably goes 14 or 15 miles an hour. I think 13 mowing's a bit high. I tried it on some flat ground. It didn't seem like it was that. Now, of course, I self-video these, so it's not like I had someone tracking me in a car actually covering how fast it was going, but just by feel. But it did. It felt very fast. Even in that super thick stuff that no one's probably ever mowed, never bogged. Not one bog, which is crazy because some of that stuff was 6 and 7 feet tall. And it just ran over it and kept pushing. Like I said, it didn't get stuck. Um, the things I like about it is I like how they did change where you set the depth on the mower deck. It's right here within reaching range. The one pedal push up to lock, that's phenomenal. I love these front wide tires. They're significantly wider than the ones I have on my other Dixie. This elongated frame does help quite a bit in suspension, and it also seems to help me when I'm mowing under things. Instead of like smacking my face into it, I can pretty much get the mower under it without me really having to eat the bush. Let's see here. I love the 12-gallon tanks. I like that the rollover protection folds all the way back. I don't have to completely take it off. I'm a pretty big fan of this OCDC. I didn't use it, not once, but I didn't mow around the house and I didn't mow around my pool. It had already been cut. But if I was to mow around the pool, I'd use it in a heartbeat. The way this thing disperses grass, it's right up there with the Turf Tiger. You know, I'd never been on a mower like that, so when the Turf Tiger did it, I was just amazed. But that was super, super dry grass. It hadn't rained in a couple of weeks. This did the exact same thing when we were on dry grass, and then it still impressed me when we were in the wet grass, to be honest with you. My other Dixie, I have to do double cuts because it just doesn't get that grass out there. So the dispersion of it just blew my mind. Now let's talk about what I don't like or what I think they need to improve. These shock absorbers in the front, I think it's a poor design. They don't do anything. I mean, they really don't. Unless you're going something down or you're hitting like a bump in the grass that's real soft that the frame probably wouldn't notice anyway. These shock absorbers really don't do much. Now with that being said, the extra length of the frame and this seat that has some good give to it makes up for it. But I think they could do better. Again, the Toro's got the My Ride, and then the Right ZXT has the whole platform that shifts. I think that they could do a little bit more in that effort, especially with as industrial as this machine is. That's what it's classified as, is they're industrial, and that's why we put it through such hell back there in the backwoods. Because to me, industrial means backwoods, and it handled it. Another thing I don't like is that the fuel tanks are the exact same system as my 2010 Magnum. So it doesn't automatically switch over when you're mowing. If you fill both tanks and the left one goes empty and you've got the switch on left, it's going to die. And then you have to manually switch it over to the right, fire it back up, and keep going. That I do not like. It's been 10 years. I mean, come on, Dixie Chopper, get your life together. You can figure this out. I know you can. Another thing I would really like to see is gas gauges that I can see from the top. You know, it would be nice if I'm out mowing, especially if I'm mowing big acreage, to know what I've got left in this tank and what I've got in that tank and when I need to hit the house. I don't get off the mower a lot. I'll typically do all of my weed eating day one, that way I get it done, and then day two I do all my mowing. But I don't have a gas gauge, and I absolutely hate it. Another thing is that I've got this charge port. I've got this charge port up here in the front. So you can put, it's not a USB, it's one of those cigarette lighters where you can put the adapter in to charge your cell phone, or you know, they do have air pumps that have that adapter that you can put in if you need to put air in your tires. But I've got the no flats in the front. I don't foresee a tiny pump like that pumping the tires of this back mower. So I would primarily be using it to charge my cell phone. Well, there's no slot for my phone. There's nowhere to put it to let me have it charge. I know a lot of people mow with their Bluetooth. I'm more simple than that. I just have the Lowe's DeWalt radio, whatever's on is what I'm listening to. But if I'm going to have a charger, give me a slot to put my phone so I can charge it. I mean, I'm not going to run the cord to my pocket. And I always hate mowing with a phone in my pocket because I always feel like it's going to slip out or somehow go under the seat, especially if I hit big bumps or if I'm back in the back fields. So that I would like to see changed. I'd also like to see a cup holder. Or you could put 2 cup holders in it and use that as the cell phone holder and the drink holder. They could be multi-purpose. It's super easy. I don't understand why. Like, why? But, you know, with this being the industrial mower, I do like that they have the metal casings over the spindles on the sides. I like that they made it quick to attach. That's something I've complained about. It's very easy. It's easy to use. The fans on the spindles, when I first saw them, I thought that was pretty gimmicky. I was like, I mean, really? Is that just something you can say you did to do whatever? Now, I can't tell you if it does a damn thing for the heat of the spindle or the belt. No way of knowing. But what I can tell you is it kicks the debris right out of that little hood. I don't have to blow that hood out. Even when we got done with the food plot, nothing. So that fan absolutely serves its purpose like that. I love it. And I think the last thing that I didn't touch on when I was talking about the suspension seat is it's adjustable. You know what I mean? You can slide it forward, so I could put my daughter, either one of them, on it, and they could operate the pedal. Or, you know, I can operate it being twice their size. The seat leans back, leans forward, so you can put yourself where you're comfortable. And again, the thing I loved most of these sticks, I'm not sure that either one of my daughters could run that Turf Tiger 2. My boy probably could, but I don't know if he could do it for a long period of time. But these sticks are so smooth that either one of them could do it. And the youngest is 12. And it's just all this horsepower, and they found a way to make it simple to move. So I do like that. As in the Turf Tiger video, I'm in the market for a mower. And as of right now, this one's on my list. It really is. I would love to own this machine. Now, with that being said, there's a couple others I want to try first. The Toro 4000 HDX series, I want to try that. I want to try the Big Dog, or the Bad Boy, I'm sorry. The Bad Boy, they've got a dealership just down the street from my house. I don't know a lot about them, so they'd really have to inform me on what I'm looking at. I saw in the comments to look at a Skag Cheetah 2. I'm going to look into that. And then the Wright ZXT is also up there. But like I said, I didn't like the Turf Tiger. I wasn't real impressed with it outside of the way that it shot grass. And the price difference between this machine and that machine is like $5,000. And I feel like I get more on this machine, minus a cup holder. So thanks for watching.